second part to our premier artist talks that we are incorporating into our rediscover Winter Street. Winter Street's been here for about 15 years, and there's a really nice community of artists here, and we invite everyone out on second Saturdays 12 to 5 where you can come in and talk to the artists just like I'm about to do with Monica and find out all about their art, what's going on. So my name is Rhonda Longclaw. This is Miss Monica Melgar. Did I say your name good?
Yes.
Yes?
Good enough.
Is there a way? You are part of the Sawyer Yards, which I guess I can tell everybody about the Sawyer Yards.
Yep.
It's turning into like a little tiny city. There are 5 buildings. Winter Street and Spring Street were the beginnings, and you were in the Spring Street.
I was in Spring Street. Mm-hmm. 4 years ago. 4
years, and so you've been here all this time.
Yeah.
Oh my God! So you.
I was hiding at Spring Street. Yeah.
You were.
Yeah.
And I have a podcast. I mentioned earlier, Artists of Houston, but usually when I talk on the podcast, I tell people I met so and so at a happy hour, and that's where I met
happy
you.
hour. Yes.
That's right. You hosted the happy hour in your studio, so I'm super glad to be in this new studio. How you doing here? You got everything the way you want it?
Yes, absolutely. It almost feels like I came home, but I had never been here before. But it felt like home already when I got here because of the community, because of all the artists here.
Yeah.
I belonged here. I love Spring. It was like a great beginning for me because I was kind of intimidated by the whole professional art career and being like a real artist. But Spring, I think it was like they just kind of held me and helped me. All the artists there are super supportive. And well, they held me and they pushed me. They pushed me to do it and to go all the way. So it was a wonderful place where I thought I could kind of like just, baby step into the community. Mm-hmm. And
you get pushed, but it's still a soft place to land because there's a lot of support.
Yeah. It's kind of like, I don't know, my parents taught me to swim by throwing me in the pool. So and I learned to swim. So kind of like that, I need that. From the right people, it's great.
Right.
And because the intentions are nothing but good. Every artist that has pushed me to do anything that I thought I couldn't has been from a place, I think, of them seeing something that I hadn't seen. So it's just, and I mean, I'll listen to any artist that says, do this, do that, as far as their advice on how to further my career, so to speak. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know that leap into professional art is really difficult.
Daunting, yes.
Daunting. And again, we talked about, I've on second Saturdays, we're open 12 to 5. People come in your studio and they say sometimes really nice things, sometimes not really nice things. But I remember feeling the first time someone came in, like when I have 3 children and my first baby, the first labor pain, I was like, oh, hell no, I don't want to do this.
Right.
And that's exactly what it felt like when that person came and stood to look at my artwork. It felt like a labor pain, and it's hard. It's a transition for sure.
Yeah.
But you have to keep going. You have to put yourself out there, and so keep going.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't think I've heard specifically or noticed like that kind of a reaction. I mean, I know they're there.
And you know what? It was probably nothing bad at all. It's my perception.
Right. But I know what you mean.
Which you have to overcome a lot of times.
Oh, absolutely. But here's what I do see. If somebody kind of just pokes their head in and then walks out, or like don't even come in and look, and I'm like, oh, what? Well, I'm friendly, or I had food, or I'm not offended. I'm just always curious of what goes through their brain. I mean, of course, not everyone's art is going to be for everyone, but I'm curious just to see what they think.
That happens a lot too upstairs where I am, and I think that's what's good about the podcast, the Artist Talks. We're introducing the public to a real invitation to an experience to come in and talk. Like, don't be afraid.
Yeah, it's like, come on. Yeah, I don't bite.
So your paintings didn't match his sofa.
I know, right, exactly. So I'm usually curious, but I'm never offended because honestly, and I mean, it sounds probably a little self-indulgent, but I make my art for myself. I mean, I'm happy that anyone else likes it. I'm humbled if anybody give me money for it. Thank goodness.
Yes.
But honestly, unless I like my work, I I have to like it for me.
Absolutely.
And if somebody else doesn't, well, I mean, oh well,
I
it's
see that.
okay.
All
It's okay.
Your images
Yeah.
are so colorful and inviting, so I imagine you're going to have fans galore.
Oh.
So tell me about the beginning when you started to paint.
Okay.
How'd that happen?
The first time I started to paint was actually odd. So I used to doodle a lot in high school. It was kind of like how I escaped from high school. But it's just a doodle. I didn't think like, oh, I'm going to be an artist. I never imagined. I'd been creative, but never thought I was an artist in that way. And so then years later, I did like graphic design though, and I liked fonts and everything having to do with meticulous work, and I like graphic design in general. So I thought I was going to be a graphic designer. Went to the Art Institute for graphic design. I get pushed into like a painting class or color theory or something like that. And the first day, I think, he showed us how to paint with gouache, I think. And they were like, make a painting. I'm like, a painting? What? So I was like, well, all I know how to do is my doodles, like little dashes, right? So I'm like, I'll just paint like that. Lo and behold, it looked like a painting. And I didn't know my little doodling technique could develop into that style of painting, which is just a lot of dashes. That really, I just call it doodling with paint. That's what that is. And so from there, I was like, oh, well, look, it looks decent. So I would do it on the side, not thinking I'd be good for anything. I would just do it on the side. But it was something that was always kind of like just in there under the surface. And then, I had real jobs and had to, support my son, single mom and all that. But always kind of did it here and there. But it was always there under the surface, kind of thinking, if I can do this, I should do it more. I've always had this theory that if you have anything that could make the world better, lighter, happier, joyful, you should share it. You shouldn't just waste it. You're blessed and lucky to have it. So share it. So then, I don't know, I think I started coming to the community. I visited Spring Street for an open Saturday, met Tony Paraná. He was the first one to push me, by the way. He was my pusher.
He's an awesome
Yeah,
dude.
absolutely. Beautiful person.
Yes.
And just doing it on the side was clearly not enough. I did not feel satisfied or fulfilled. And I just figured, well, I'm going to go visit the space. He said, if you're an artist and you're not doing something like this, then, he didn't say it in these words verbatim, but he almost said, you either do this or stop saying you're an artist. Something like that. We're kind of like, stop effing around, kind of like.
Yeah.
Do it or don't.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, he's right. I was like, what am I afraid of? I have a very supportive husband. Just get the studio. Email David, find out what's up. Got the studio, and all of a sudden I was like, wow. I just could not imagine. Could not imagine my life without this, without art, without all of y'all.
How have you changed since you got in the studio?
Well, I remember these words from my husband the week after I signed the lease, or during that week. He said, wow, I really like Happy Studio Monica, is what he said.
Oh.
I mean, he just noticed the change in me, like that. I
think you could put that on a T-shirt.
Yeah.
This is Studio Monica.
This Happy Studio Monica.
And,
he said, he goes, wow, I really like seeing Studio Monica, is what he called me.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Did you finish at the Art Institute? Or
No, I did not. I got knocked up and did not.
Oh, la la.
I made
Tell
something
me.
else.
Tell me the truth.
I created something
Tell me
else
the
much
truth.
more beautiful. It's okay. I wasn't meant to do that. When I was young, what I found out about graphic design, though, is you can make a beautiful logo and put color in it or not, but the client wants, brown with purple or something that looks horrible. And it's their money. It's the client. And I was way too young and not smart to realize that if you need to pay your rent, that's what you do. And I was like, I can never do that. I can't just listen to people just because they're paying me. So the graphic design was clearly not for me. So it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
It led me to this, oddly enough.
Yeah.
This was for me.
All paths lead
Yeah,
to where
absolutely.
you're supposed to be.
So most of it has been self-taught. To answer like the question of did you go to school, how did you learn? It's mostly been self-taught.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
great. So I feel that when you get a studio and you take that leap, you grow.
Absolutely.
Not to mention just developing a body of work. That is something that is
well, you
really
feel kind of
important
like
to
this
a career.
Yeah, you feel like this peer pressure because you see everybody around you just making all this work and participating, and then you get all the opportunities too. It's not as difficult to have to submit, because I did go through that process of submitting, rejection. Here, you kind of get the opportunity to kind of just pay and you're in.
Speaking of which,
so we worked a lot.
We've had several shows here. You were in the Wild Show, The Women of Winter Street. No, you
No,
weren't.
but I
You
wasn't.
weren't in it. You were supposed to be in it.
I was in Vegas.
Okay.
Sorry. Duty calls.
Okay.
Duty calls.
Duty call. Next year.
Next year.
But we
Yes.
have an awesome show coming up, a collaborative show,
Yes.
which I'm super excited about too. They've allowed us to collaborate with that 3 different artists. It's a way to really stretch and do something that you wouldn't do, or like that.
Yes.
Are you doing the collaborative show?
Absolutely, I am, with the wonderful April Murphy. And so different things that I admire about different people. Everybody in Winter Street, so many people have amazing artwork and then amazing personas, and who they are and what they bring to my life is more than the artwork, honestly, it's the people. And so April Murphy has been super inspirational to me, not just so much in her artwork and how happy it is. It's just nothing but happiness. It's just her work ethic, her ability to just freaking go for it. I mean, I just admire that. I get tired watching her. The energy she has.
I know. I agree.
I mean,
I agree.
and it started off, and our relationship started in the funniest of ways, because the more I like someone, the more I'm going to make fun of them. That's what Mexicans do. And in a meeting, she was crying about, but what if I don't have enough paintings? Because I'll sell out. She had 2 shows back
What
to
a
back, as
problem.
always.
Yeah.
I know she's like, but what if I sell out? Wouldn't we all love to have that problem of selling out? So of course I had to razz her, and so I was like, wah. Anyway, so from there our relationship began, but mostly it was admiration, and I was just, trying to make fun of her, how successful she is.
Yeah.
And ever since then, our relationship has been nothing but supportive and helping each other and growing. So who else better to collaborate with
Sweet.
than April Murphy?
Yeah.
I mean, however, I could have never imagined what she could do with what little I did. And then together I think it's just wonderful. It's like we made babies together.
Yes, sorta.
Sort of. Yeah. I know. The kind that you don't have to go through college, but, and they don't stay at home and you can't get rid of them. Love you, son.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I think it's gonna be great.
This
that
is
show.
wonderful.
This is
It's the background for one. She's going to add her
It's
magic
gorgeous.
touch.
Yeah. And May 12th is we're going to have an opening. Normally we don't have openings for these shows. They get hung and we don't celebrate them really. And so I'm really excited
Yes.
about May 12th is our opening. I'm postponing a trip to France so I can go.
Wow. It'll be worth it. Well, we better make it worth it now.
Anyway, May 12th will be our opening, and it's going to be great.
I can't wait to see everyone's work, because just as thrilled and surprised as I am as how, I didn't think it wouldn't be good. I didn't think it would be this amazing. And the experience in general, the experience, it's more that. It's how you kind of you grow, and you grow together.
Yeah.
And what better way than all of us doing
And you
it
get
together.
to, I was talking to, I can't remember what the deal was, but I think the internet has really, it's still, like, we don't know what the internet is. Right now it's maybe going through a little ugly phase where people don't realize that we're people. And so this one-to-one situation is always the way to go to get to know someone and to understand what their insecurities are, what motivates them, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we're doing too with this collaboration. You're really getting to know who you're working with.
Yeah.
And one of my collaborators, I was like, God, you move fast. Like, I didn't even see that coming. Silly stuff. Whatever.
Yeah.
It's all good. It's all great.
You learn a little more.
Yeah. So, do you work in oil, acrylic, or what is your
Most
medium?
of my work is acrylic.
Okay.
Most of it. Mm-hmm.
That was the thing about the collaboration too, where it didn't matter. We were going to work it through on mediums.
Yeah, that would have been interesting. We're lucky that we've already. Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
I hadn't even thought of that. Now that you mention it,
Yeah.
but because of the way I work, I like to layer. This is all blended, but it's more of a background. But mostly, I layer stuff, so I need it to dry fast. If I did oil, as it is, my stuff takes a
Do
while.
you come to the studio to do your work?
I work here and at home. I have a studio at home also.
Okay.
It's in Pearland, so it's a little far, and I can't get here every day. So I do both.
Okay. I love this space. I haven't been
I
in
love
here.
this space. Yeah, it's wonderful.
You said
I
it was
love
a tiny studio. It's not a tiny
What?
studio. It's a fantastic studio.
Yeah, right. Well,
great.
yeah, I'm greedy.
Yeah, you're greedy.
I need more space.
Yeah.
I like big pieces.
Such a hole.
Yeah.
Right. That's great. Well, do you have any other upcoming things you're interested in letting people know about, or no?
Oh, yes.
Yes?
Yeah, okay, a new thing that just came up. It's on April 5th. There's a thing called Runway Houston, and I've been invited to participate there.
Okay.
After meeting, I did a light painting thing at a Skyview bar
What is that
at
like?
Kirby
Tell
with
me
light
what-
painting.
Tell me what that's like. That sounds so scary. Honest to God.
Honestly, here's the funny thing.
Okay.
I thought it'd be scary, but because your back is to the people, this is scarier.
Oh.
I forget. I mean, if you're just painting, you kind of forget what's happening, or I do.
Okay.
And the last one that I did a week ago, when we first got there were maybe like 40, 50 people.
Uh-huh.
And I just started doing my thing. I started painting. And at some point, I like stopped to drink water or something and see. And I guess people were around me, but they were kind of stepping, you know, they were away enough where I didn't know they were behind me. And when I looked around, I was like, whoa, crap. I wish I hadn't looked, honestly, because it was like a good crowd. And then there was like the whole place was full.
Yeah.
So if you just don't look back, you'll be fine. Just
Okay.
stay until
Okay.
you're done. But no, it's great, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think subconsciously you know people are watching, but you try to, you know, it's there. So it's kind of exciting. I don't know. It
You work
gives you
big?
energy.
I would imagine you'd have a little bit of a smaller.
I did that one, the one
Okay.
behind him.
Nice.
The one, because it was up on the 25th floor, so I did a little skyline, which I've never
Nice.
done.
Okay, nice.
And then, so I did the background first and stopped, and then did the skyline.
Okay.
hmm
So April 5th, you have something.
That's Runway Houston, and
Okay.
at Kirby, it's called Kirby Collection. It's a new building on Kirby.
part
a
of
new high-rise.
Fashion Week or something for Houston, or we don't know. Look.
I mean, I don't know a lot. I got told about it or asked about it at the last minute, and I was thrilled to hear about it. And because he watched me paint and saw my stuff, so I'm like, yay!
It's great.
So that's coming up next.
See arms and legs.
Absolutely.
Things grow arms and
Yeah.
legs.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
it's super fun.
Yeah.
Well, Monica, it was great talking to you.
Thank you. Great having y'all here.
Questions for Monica from anyone? No? So
Mm.
open your door,
Yeah.
second Saturday.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Invite people in.
Thank you.
Yay, good job.